Hi Andy, you're here at the Wolves game after a static result on the weekend against West Brom. You and the girls must have been top of the world after such an important victory.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, an important 3 points and a good opportunity to push on from it. We know tonight's challenge is going to be tough. You know, ultimately we've got some ineligible players that can't play, that were involved in the squad, but you know, we've still got a strong squad to make a fist of it tonight, and we'll put in as best performance as we possibly can. But I think in terms of, you know, where we were, you know, earlier in the season and where we are now, we feel like we're in a much stronger position. Do you know what I mean? So looking at the West Brom game the weekend, we lost 4-0 the last time we played them, and I think Sunday we've proved that, you know, that if we're on it and we take our opportunities and we focus and defend well, then ultimately we can come away with 3 points in games.
As you touched on there, the squad has come a long way since the start of the season, and the character as well seems to have come a long way. If you compare it to the defeat to Stoke, where you were quite disappointed with the result, to then bounce back and get a win against West Brom, do you feel as much as the ability has grown, the togetherness and the squad as a whole has just developed?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was difficult. I mean, what a lot of people won't remember is that in the summer, I think there was 6 or 7 players that were in the squad at the start of the season that got us promoted. So we had to recruit a large number of players, and unfortunately over the season, due to positive things like the recent ones where Larry Walker's gone to Australia, and Rear Acton's got a professional contract in Portugal, and one player in particular has dropped down from 3 to 4 and firing goals in. So ultimately there's been a few changes, but on the whole we've needed a certain amount of games to get into a position where we can compete at this level, because it's unforgiving, and you know, you can't learn what you don't know, and there was a lot of players at the start of the season that had no experience at Tier 3. So I think sides that I've been involved in have always been stronger back end of the season, and I think that's just because it's taken time to get across to the new players the philosophy and the way of playing and the different ways of playing that we need to be in order to pick up points in this league. But I'm immensely proud of the group, especially after the start to the season. It was very difficult. You know, we lost quite a number of games, and we knew that it would turn at some point, and we still feel disappointed that there's been games where we've deserved a little bit more in, but that's football. You hope by the end of the season that you've picked up enough points and done enough really to put yourself in a strong position to stay in the league, and that's been our focus from the very start. But like I say, you know, tonight's going to be a very tough challenge, and one that we're looking forward to, but one that we know that we've got to be absolutely our best.
Like you touched on there, you're still disappointed with a few of the performances this season and not coming away with results. Does that show the mentality of the team that there's always a better mark? You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course there has to be, because unfortunately the teams that you're coming up against week after week are high quality teams. There is no team in this league that won't give you a tough game. So yeah, the standards have to be there. The girls have set a standard of what they need to achieve from a performance perspective, individually and collectively as a team, and you know, when there's enough of them that meet that, then you come out of games where you're getting 3 points. Unfortunately against Stoke there was probably 6 or 7 of our players that didn't perform to the level that they have been, whereas if you look the week before that, then you know, against Forest we did do, and that reflected within the scoreline and the performance on the day.
Like you touched on a bit earlier, Tier 3 can be an unforgiving level at times, and you're coming up against a Wolves team tonight on the back of a big game against Man United in the FA Cup. What type of test are you expecting tonight?
I think Wolves will be exactly the same as they were against the FA Cup game. You know, they've got depth and quality across the pitch in different positions, and there might be a few changes tonight to the team that was on Saturday night, but they've got depth, and they're going for a league title. So from their perspective, they will not be, I don't think, overlooking Sporting Council tonight. I think they'll be trying to put right what they felt didn't go as well on the weekend, even though it was absolutely superb what they did. I was at the game, and you know, it was a massive advertisement for a Tier 3 really on how well they did and how they performed against the top, you know, WSL team.
Thank you, Andy.
No problem.